Hello, YouTube land. Welcome to another episode of Crossdeck, my weekly little contribution to the YouTube space, that it is. It's Sunday, July 7th, and I hope that all of you had a great 4th of July holiday weekend. I had to work on Friday, so it was kind of broken up, but not too bad. Friday, it was kind of dead. Nobody was there. So I enjoyed myself. Uh, didn't get down in the arcade too much this past week. I got a lot going on, and I'll kind of dive into that in a second here. But I did move a couple of things around here in the arcade this morning. We'll get a wider view here. You'll notice that I have a pinball butted up against the big buck hunter that I built last weekend. Those of you that saw that show. I put that big buck hunter up. I added some LED lighting to it, and then I kind of made the decision that I want to put something in the middle. So I moved my Metallica Legends Ultimate pinball into the center, butted up against that. So I thought that was a pretty good move there. Might be temporary, might be permanent. I don't know. Again, it depends on what I put in here. Unfortunately, that kind of puts the back corner in an empty position, which you can't really see on any of these camera feeds. But the back corner there, next to my Legends Ultimate in the back, is empty now. I can fit 2 cabs there. So the next couple of cabs that I get are going to go there. Right now at the top of my list is Dragon's Lair. And unfortunately, Dragon's Lair is kind of following the same path that Tron took on its way out. It dipped in price for a little bit and then went back up to full price. And after a month or two, Tron kind of disappeared. So I have a fear in me that we're going to see the same thing happen to Dragon's Lair. There's going to come a point where Dragon's Lair just fades away. So my focus right now is to pick that up. And so we'll get there. Hopefully in another month or so, I'll be in a position to pick that cab up. And I'm also kind of holding out for maybe another price break. But we'll see. Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys had a good holiday and celebrated not too hard. Not hard enough that you wound up in jail. That's for sure. I'm kind of sad that I don't have anything to do today as far as arcade mods or builds. I'm getting that itch, I want to do something. And I fulfilled some of it last week, with the Big Buck Hunter build. And I also did the blue light lighting, which I also talked about last week. So those are 2 big things that I got done. And now you guys probably sympathize with me. I get that feeling of what's next? What can I do next? And, with Arcade1Up lately, there's not really a whole lot. I mean, unless you're still waiting to pick up cabs that you want, but still are at a pretty ridiculous price. You're waiting and you're in a wait and see mode. And that, unfortunately, you got to start thinking about what other things you can do. Well, I'm thinking about, some things, some mods. I didn't take advantage of any of the 4th of July sales. I'm sad about that. There was one thing I wanted from Tulsa Arcades. I probably should have picked up. I'm going to see if his sale's still going on. If it is, I'll probably pick up a couple of things, and maybe those are mods that I could do down the line. Show note, next weekend I will be here. But the weekend after that, NASCAR returns to the Brickyard, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and they're going to be on the oval again, which is exciting. It depends on who you are. Me being a photographer there, I kind of liked them on the road course because we got better shots. But on the oval, the only thing you can get is a wreck in the corner. And other than that, it's garage shots. And, if you can get a driver on a camera, then that's good. But yeah, in a couple of weeks, there won't be a show. again, because I'll be down in Indianapolis for the Brickyard 400. So it'd be good to be doing that again. I like driving down there to Indy. Gives me a chance to go to White Castle. And yeah. So anyway, as I said, I didn't do too much in the arcade here. I'm going to adjust the camera angle here in a second. Got to do this before. There. That's a little better. Anyway, so this is probably going to be a short stream because all I got to do is talk, and I don't really have much to say about what I'm going to talk about other than what you've already heard. But I want to add my 2 cents to the NBA Jam Deluxe Feel the Heat edition. First of all, I hope did you all get to see a parade or two? This was my hometown parade. Things I've been up to. The gal and I went downtown Hartford, where I live, and we attended a pretty amazing 4th of July parade. And I'm sure you all have parades near you that are just as equally amazing. And the reason why I touched on this in the opening, but the reason why I haven't been doing much in the arcade is because I'm in the middle of a bike challenge, miles challenge. And so in addition to all the stuff I do already in the gym overnight, in the waning hours of the evening, I'm now jumping on the bike. So pretty much any waking moment that I have is spent on this bike right here. So it's all virtual. It's and I have you can't see it here, but I have a bike trainer that transmits data to Zwift. And so that's how I log my miles, my laps. And then I have a TV in front of me to entertain me while I'm riding. So did that this morning. The shot was taken this morning on my 20-mile ride. Yesterday I did 40 miles. And then I was pretty shot after that. The gal wanted to walk downtown to get some ice cream. So I was dead to the world. I really wasn't in the mood to do any home arcade stuff. But this morning I did do a couple of things, as I said. And so that kind of wet my beak, so to speak. So let's talk Arcade1Up. Now, there are varying theories about what's happening with Arcade1Up. Mine align with some of those already out there. I don't think Arcade1Up is dead. There's a video out there in which it was, I believe it was RGT85 that declared that Arcade1Up was dead. Well, I don't think they're dead. Now, what I will say, I will qualify that and say the Arcade1Up that we knew and loved, that's dead. The company named Arcade1Up is still alive. They're just shifting focus. And my belief is they're shifting focus to things that they can do. And a little bit of that probably has to do with the lawsuit going on right now between them and ThinkUp. And I don't know if you guys have had a chance to watch James Hates Everything's great stream from last week. It was an 1.5-hour stream, and I'm really only about an hour into it now. I still got to watch the last half hour. But what he's gone through so far with that lawsuit kind of explains a lot about what happened in mid to late 23 and this year. Why we're seeing such a slowdown in product from them. And it even explains the NBA Jam Deluxe Feel the Heat edition, which my belief there is Arcade1Up right now doesn't want to stir the pot with that lawsuit, because ThinkUp, from what I gleaned from James Hates Everything stream about it, from what I understand, ThinkUp was the brains behind what we see from what we saw from Arcade1Up. Arcade1Up just facilitated the licensing. That's my take on it. So I think that Arcade1Up, now that they've severed the relationship with ThinkUp, are looking for ways that they can create product. And apparently, and I don't know if this is the truth or not, but apparently the CasinoCade is a form factor that ThinkUp didn't come up with, maybe. So maybe they took that ball and decided to say, well, that's going to be our form factor going forward. That's scary if that's the case, because I don't like this cabinet. I don't. Let me take this off. Let's go here. So the NBA Jam Deluxe Feel the Heat Edition. I don't want to go over the bits and pieces of this cabinet because everybody else already has. But what I will say is they basically took it's. I mean, in my view, they took this cabinet, the CasinoCade form factor, and made it into the NBA Jam. And if this is what they're going to do going forward, I don't see myself buying these. I'm big about artwork and nostalgia. So this kind of cuts the artwork in half, the way the cabinet is laid out. And I'm not for that. I'd rather go out and buy the NBA Jam Deluxe Tournament Edition. It looks a lot better than this, and that's a 4-player deck, but you can fix that. I will give them credit for doing the 2-player, and this is all the YouTubers out there pretty much feel the same way. The fact that they went with a 2-player deck here is a good step in the right direction. But this whole thing, you know, the back of this cabinet is just horrible. And you've got this foot now down there, the same thing that was on the CasinoCade. And from my point of view as a hobbyist in this hobby, this is not something I'm interested in. So hopefully they get things sorted out with that lawsuit. Hopefully they're back on track. Hopefully their next cab that they come out with won't look like this. If it does, I think that's going to be pretty much the nail in the coffin, really, because the only people that are going to be buying these are people that aren't serious enthusiasts like us. And granted, we're probably about the 1% of their sales base, but we're also the ones talking about it on YouTube. So Arcade1Up, if you're listening from a consumer standpoint, from an older consumer standpoint that relies on a lot of nostalgia for everything, this is not it for me, and I won't be getting it. I do want to add NBA. I don't have an NBA Jam, but I do want to add it at some point. But it's not high on my priority list right now. Like I said, Dragon's Lair is my sole focus. So, you know, the community on YouTube now seems to be all against this, and it'll be interesting to see if Arcade1Up is actually able to sell this. Right now, the only link that I know of that has it is Amazon. And the other thing I don't like about this is the price. There you see it's $4.99, the same price as the 3/4 size NBA Jam Deluxe Tournament Edition. I don't get that. It boggles my mind. This thing should be at most $399.99. So same thing with the CasinoCade, really. Anyway, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to beat a dead horse because you've all heard about it all week long from various other content creators. But I did want to add my 2 cents. A few other things I've written down that came up this week. The Zoltar New Wave Toys 1/6 scale. I've watched some of the content on that. It looks amazing. I want one. I did not get in on the pre-order, so I didn't get that awesome price. I think they started with the pre-order for $99, but those of us that waited will probably have to pay around 150. And to me, it's worth it. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful little cabinet to add to my collection. Don't have a big collection, but it's growing, and I think that one I would love to add. The other in the smaller form factor market is Quarter Arcades. Numbskull Quarter Arcades demoed their Burger Time, or debuted their Burger Time cabinet, and that's a must pick up for me. It's hard because those when you start talking quarter arcades, those get up there, and we're talking Arcade1Up price, and my focus is filling this arcade here. So the 1/6 and quarter scale arcades kind of get pushed down to the low priority. So if I have, some funds built up in my arcade, I'll pick up one of the little ones. And the one that's next on my list there is Space Invaders. I want to get that desperately, but things come up. If I have an opportunity to put an Arcade1Up in, I'm going to do that first. So I am a fan of the quarter scale arcades and the 1/6 scale arcades. So I'll be adding more as time and funds permit. Zero, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. I'm looking at your comment here. Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus in the community. We're going to see, they're probably going to stick to this form factor going forward just to save on costs, shipping costs, material costs. And I could totally see them doing a Joust in this form factor, or a Pac-Mania. I'm reissuing some of those titles, the titles that have made them money. But I just don't see anything new coming from them, especially with this lawsuit coming out, coming on. I really hope that gets settled, or, from James's perspective, he kind of feels like ThinkUp might come out on the losing end. Who knows? He's not a lawyer, and I'm not a lawyer, so who knows what's going to happen with that. But I do think that Arcade1Up is rethinking how they're doing things to save money. It sucks, the position they're in. I wish this were 2 years ago, when 2022 for me with Arcade1Ups was a banner year. I added a lot of cabinets that year, and I hate to see them struggling. I really do. I'm a fan of what they've done, and this has me worried. It really does. It has me worried, and I hope that part of me hopes that this is just a one-off, but the common sense person in me believes that this is what they're going to do going forward, and it just worries me, because I really don't. I mean, if they come out with a Robotron Smash TV cabinet in this form factor, I think I'd much rather just play Robotron back there on my Legends Ultimate. Maybe even think about reskinning my Legends Ultimate into a Robotron, with the Robotron artwork, because I especially if it's like at a $500 price point for that size cabinet, I just can't see myself sinking that amount of money into something that's half of what it used to be, or not quite half. Anyway, I'm just disappointed, Arcade1Up. I'm just disappointed. I wish they'd have stayed the course and done what got them here. And I understand why they're probably doing this. They need money, and they need to recoup some funds from areas that they have control over, which is size, material, and try to shave down the shipping costs. So anyway, enough of that. Again, I said this was going to be a quick show. We talked about that. And I kind of threw this in here. I am a movie fan. Oh, zero. Let me see. Yes, it's down. This item will be released on August 8th. So Amazon says it will be released on August 8th. I assume that's when it's going to ship. If Amazon is Amazon's, there might be a few customers that actually get it a little earlier because sometimes Amazon ships early. But August 8th seems to be the date that this cabinet's going to ship. So, all right. Haven't been to a movie in a while, and from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing, don't know what that was. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F is an awesome movie. It's kind of a great sequel to the first two movies, and nobody seems to be counting Beverly Hills Cop 3. It's been a while since I've seen all three Beverly Hills Cops movies. And now I really want to see this one. And I don't have Netflix, so I'm kind of struggling. But I really want to see that movie. So I may subscribe for a month just to see that movie and then unsubscribe. But I'm a fan. All right. Anything else? I don't want to bore you with showing you pictures of stuff I did this week. I got a lot of parade pictures, but I've eaten a lot of ice cream this week too. Just looking at my history. I guess I'm gonna. No, I haven't ordered the Buck Hunter marquee yet. Zero. I was waiting. I was hoping that he would have Retro 530 would have a sale on him, but he didn't. So we'll see. It was $190 last I looked. Let's see. Big Buck Hunter. Yeah, it's still $190. I was hoping there was going to be like a % off sale that he did over the 4th of July, and he didn't. So there is a coupon code that Danny has, but it's only for the molded coin door. It's not. So I have to decide whether I'm going to splurge. And I've had a couple of things happen this week. Again, my fridge is out, so I've had to go buy a college dorm fridge just to keep things cold. And so I've got some expenses coming again. Seems like the hits keep coming. I'm not selling any of these cabs again, though. I just got Big Buck Hunter. I'm not getting rid of it. So, but I am going to get that marquee eventually. Eventually. Other than that, I got nothing else to talk about. So I think I'll just end the stream now. It's almost a half an hour. It's good to keep things short. If I have anything to update you on, it'll be through my community stream. And until then, you guys have a great week. I know I will. I'll be busy. And I'll see you next week. Okay? Thanks.